All right, let's further unpack this discussion by welcoming Dr. Sunshine Myende, who's the Executive Chairperson of the NYDA, as well as Sibabalwe Nobandla, and she's the Multimedia Strategist at Youth Capital, to talk to us about, of course, this Youth Indaba. So, Dr. Myende, Sibabalwe, it's such a pleasure. Welcome to both of you. Maybe, Sibabalwe, let's start with you. What is Youth Capital's overall view then on the NYDA Youth Investment Indaba that is currently underway in Johannesburg, as well as the commitments that are being made by government as well to fully support this drive to get funding of about 2.5 billion towards the Youth Fund?
So as Youth Capital, we support this initiative. We support what the deputy president was saying around the commitments to young people in this country. However, I think we are at the point where, as young people, we've received a lot of promises from government, from initiatives that were created by government in terms of like what they would do for young people in this country. But often we don't see a proper plan as to how this will happen. We don't receive dates. We don't receive questions. We have a lot of questions around how youth are expected to show up for this program, what the direction of this program will take, what the funds are, like what are the requirements from young people for them to access these funds, what are their intentions, and how will it be implemented in various environments, like rural environments, urban environments, etc., because young people in these different environments have different requirements and have different needs that they need to be supplemented. So we are overall, yes, happy for this, but we still have a lot of questions around the implementation, and we wish that Deputy President would have addressed this in his initial speech.
That's a very valid point there, of course, Sibabalwe. Doctor, I mean, welcome to you. Maybe just also start by addressing that, because we often hear, I mean, I do these interviews quite a lot, right, that the money that is actually meant for the youth, those indigent youth, those youth that want to explore within the various fields of the sector, multi-sectoral fields, do not actually receive any of this funding. It never reaches the intended. So you've just heard there from Sibabalwe, and we also hear that the funding challenges pertaining to young entrepreneurs are there all the time, resulting in a very discouraged youth. So maybe talk to us also about the kind of investments that would then truly change the game for South Africa's youth, and also ensure that there's sustainable support for their venture as well as ideas. As Sibabalwe is saying, they're still not sure around the implementation of this plan.
Thank you very much, and greetings, Sibabalwe. I think the areas, one thing that when we got into office that we did, we went to the Statistician General to understand what are the sectors that have potential of young people participating in that can meaningfully contribute to the growth of the economy. So one of the areas is within the mining space and the energy space and the retail space and the manufacturing space. So those are some of the areas that we think that the proper investment, if we're able to assist young people to start mines and also to be part of the beneficiation in mines and in the energy space, those are some of the areas where young people where we're seeking to invest so that young people start businesses in those particular areas. So it's your mining, it's your energy, it's in the retail and manufacturing and the aspect of industrialization that we want young people to be able to participate in. So those are some of the areas that we're looking to invest or be able to create this particular fund so that young people are able to get this particular funding. Because currently the NYDA, the maximum that we can fund you is 250,000, and the minimum that we can fund you is 10,000. If we want young people to participate in the mining space, in order for you to get a mining license, you need maybe a minimum of 1 million rand. So if we're able to get 2.5 billion, there are many young people that we can be able to empower to ensure that they're mine owners and they're able to participate in the mainstream economy.
Absolutely. There, of course, Doctor, because we understand with the renewed as well as special focus and campaign around, of course, funding those TVET colleges and students to pursue those artisanal sectoral, of course, vacancies that they can actually, careers that they can actually explore. But Sibabalwe, in your view then, what role, in fact, should the NYDA play in terms of translating these announcements into real opportunities for young people? And I also want the doctor to maybe also just add something there after you've responded.
Okay, so what we expect is that we need clear dates, we need clear boundaries, we need to know what are the things that are required from young people in order for them to access these funds. And also we need to hear, as of today, like when we heard from the president, for example, he said that the need to address youth unemployment in this country is something that lies in the hands of young people. And so we don't necessarily agree with that. We say that this is a government responsibility. We need clarity around the funds. What are the funds that government is committing towards this program? And we also need to know, again, like clear communication as to what are the expected dates, what is the expected outcome, what is the full impact that this will have for various young people across different environments, and what happens if a young person is not necessarily seeking to be an entrepreneur because they exist in an economically dead zone where it is not viable for them to be an entrepreneur. So these are the type of answers that we're requiring from the Deputy President and also the NYDA around just clarity and implementation.
And Doctor, maybe a quick one, and also while you respond there, then what should young people or civil society also be watching for next? Where are those life-changing opportunities that are designed to emancipate the youth?
Okay, I think firstly, before we had the Youth Investment Indaba, we had already started the conversation with the Minister of Trade Industry, Minister Pakstow. You'd recall during the State of the Nation address, the President pronounced on the Transformation Fund. So the Transformation Fund is supposed to mobilize from private sector and government an amount of 100 billion. So we are saying, we are advocating that the NYDA should be given half of that money, which is 50 billion at this point. Understanding that the agency has existed for years, and we have credible systems that we've put in place. We've stabilized our governance, and we have proved by even the oversight bodies that we are able to manage funds. And also we believe that in a year, there are many applications that we receive from young people seeking for funding in their different endeavors that they want to do in their business, in their different business ideas. So that's the first thing that we have done prior to us having the Youth Investment Indaba. So we've already started those conversations, and we're also going to be meeting the minister to draft and have a clear plan on how we're going to get this 50 billion, which is half of the Transformation Fund. And I heard that the Deputy President also did pronounce on that. But we are going to start with the 2.5 billion investment fund that we have started, that we have spoken on today. We believe that we need to start somewhere. 50 billion is a lot, but we're starting with 2.5 billion for now. But our end goal is 50 billion towards youth-owned viable businesses. So from 2026, that's why we're going to be starting to roll out a clear project plan that we're going to outline to all young people in South Africa. But also there are young people every day that walk into the NYDA offices seeking for funding. So it's not like we're going to be starting from scratch identifying those young people. Already there are young people in the system that have submitted their application, their business plan. So already systems are in place. It's just for us to maximize on what we would have received from government and private sector. So what then becomes the responsibility of civil society organizations and ordinary young people in the streets or in our communities is to make noise, to say that as young people, we deserve this particular funding to be brought to us.
All right, Doctor. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Sibabalwe, thank you so much for that engagement. That was Dr. Sunshine Myende there. She's the Executive Chairperson of the NYDA alongside Sibabalwe Nobandla there, who's a multimedia strategist at Youth Capital.